Welcome everyone, here I am, the trading card collector with another Dragon Ball video. Today I have a Dragon Ball metal set called Langu. These are boxes from Langu Volume 4. Now it's been a little while since I've released a new video on YouTube, not because I've retired from collecting, but because I've just been super engaged with the Whatnot streams. So I live stream on Whatnot, normally several times a week, just opening boxes, mostly One Piece, because One Piece has many sets, so that is the bulk of the content. But unfortunately, that has left little time for me to make new content for the YouTube channel. I'm hoping I can change that in the near future with a few more videos here and there. And today, let's start with some Dragon Ball. Now, as always, the link to the Whatnot streams is going to be right here in the video description. So make sure that you check that out and you follow me there. And remember that if you create a new Whatnot account, use the referral link that I have posted on that description when you create the account, and you will get a $15 voucher towards your first purchase. I'm also generally quite active on the Discord server that we have, also linked in the video description. Now, today I'm going to be talking about this Langu set, this Dragon Ball Langu set, which is the Wave 4 of Langu. I'm going to show a few sample cards, and I'm going to show the card list, and yeah, just in general talk a bit about the set. Now, this is another one of the Chinese sets, which is a metal set, and it is the Wave 4. So they've released, in theory, they have released 4 of these sets. However, I have personally never seen set number 2. So I know they released set number 1, which they also call W1. There's nothing really here to indicate that this is Wave 4, but when you buy these cases, that's how they are labeling it. They're labeling it as Langu Wave 4. So you see the name over here, called Langu, that is the company. This company does not just make Dragon Ball metals. They are thin metals, but they've also done quite a few waves from One Piece, and at least a couple of waves from Naruto. Most of the metal sets recently, especially the One Piece ones, they tend to be thick metals. They tend to be very thick metals. These ones, they come in matte cases and one-touch matte cases, but they are thin, right? They're just basically the same sort of matte case. I have a sample right here. The same sort of matte case that you would have for a regular card, right, that you would buy for the TCG. So this is a sample from Langu. This is one of the available trays that I have. I have opened this one on the live Whatnot stream. If you see a name in the back, it's because it's not mine. This is something that somebody opened on the stream. And I have it here available for trade so that somebody can grab it if they want, and then get the person that owns the card another one. Now, Langu, again, this is Langu 4, wave number 4. I have opened many cases from wave 1 and then wave 3, and wave 4 was just released. If they have ever done a wave 2, I have never seen it. So as far as I know, they've only released 3 different waves. Now, these sets have a couple of peculiarities. One of them is the factory is a bit special. The Langu factory is a bit special. And they're special for 2 reasons. One is their card lists are always very low quality. If you're trying to get a sense, and we're going to see that in a second, but if you're trying to get a sense of the entirety of the of all the cards available in the set, it's very hard with the actual card list because it is very poor quality. Another annoyance about this factory is they don't really use very good glue. Like on a first glance, these might look like it's sort of been tampered with, because you can see this is a sealed box and this is sort of like peeling off already. This is probably among the best ones that you've seen. A lot of them, when you open a case, they just literally like wide open. They have not been tampered with. They use really bad glue. A lot of these Chinese factories, when it comes to selling individual boxes like that, have this particular problem. And I've seen this not just on this factory, but other factories as well, which is very unfortunate, right? Especially if you are just trying to open them live and somebody's purchasing them, because it does make it appear as they've been tampered with when they haven't. And apparently, also, according to my distributor, they are a notoriously difficult factory to work with. Another thing that is well known on these Langu cards is that they tend to use the same image with different border colors. And we're going to see that in a couple of samples afterwards. Which means that if you truly want to master the set, and if the base set has like 50 or 60 cards, then you have to get all those 50 or 60 cards times 5 or 6 different colors, right? Which makes mastering these, if you want to truly master it, truly difficult. But they don't really document that very well, so you don't really know how many colors there are. However, the cards are really cool. So we're about to see a bunch of them. The cards are really cool. And the images are fantastic and the quality is fantastic. There's recently been a second Dragon Ball metal set, a dedicated Dragon Ball metal set called Waimao. I'm hoping I can do another video for that one soon. But today we're just going to be looking at Langu. These are 2 sealed boxes. Normally you buy a case. A case of this product has 60 boxes, 60 total boxes of these. Again, these are among the best in terms of how screwed up the glue is, both of these boxes. For some reason, the back over here is in Spanish. You have the Camino hacia el más fuerte. I don't know what that's in Spanish, so there's nothing else in Spanish in the rest of the set. They probably just grabbed this image from somewhere, like some Spanish promotional material, and they like the image and they use that image. But everything else, there's very little text, if anything. Everything else here is just in Chinese, as you can expect. But yeah, the back of these, for some reason, is in Spanish. All right, so for starters, before I open some boxes, well, I'm actually not going to open boxes because I already have some open over here. I'm going to show you the card. But before I do that, I want to go through the card list. As I mentioned, the card list is very poor quality, but that is the quality that the factory provides. But we can sort of get a sense of what to expect on the set. So we're going to take a look at that. And it's on a PDF. And as always, all of those are always available on the Discord server, which is also linked in the description. I post them on Discord, and the PDF that I'm opening right now, I'm just opening directly from Discord, where I posted it a couple of weeks ago. So let's take a look at that, shall we? Let's go. So here's the card list. And this is how it starts. This is the beginning. You can see the package over here. And what we have over here, this one with the 7 differently colored Dragon Balls. This is like something super special. I think there's 1 out of 128 kind of means that you're only going to see one of these every 128 packages. One case, again, has 120, so you need more than 2 cases in order to open one of these. Now, I have never seen one of these. I don't know if they are truly that rare, but I know that this set, Langu sets, normally have some very rare cards that are serialized that are super hard to get. So you might get one every like 5 cases, something like that. On my very first case of Langu Volume 1, I think I did open a couple of serial cards, but that was a long time ago. On Langu Volume 3, I did not open a single serial one, and I don't think I'm going to open one on Wave 4 either, but we'll see. Right? But basically, I never expect to open one of those. If you get it, then it's a nice extra, but it's extremely unlikely you're going to be able to open one of those. So let's keep going down the fly over here. Your Dragon Ball logo, and here we have what is going to be the super duper ultra special mega prize that you can basically just forget about getting it. But the way I understand it, I'm not 100% sure this is the case, but the way I understand it is you can put together all these 7 Dragon Balls, which are other ones that you can only get every 2 or 3 cases. And if you put all 7 together, then you can redeem all of those 7 for like this special card. I understand by this, there's only going to be 20 of these cards available. Right? So it's going to be limited to 20. So if you do some quick math, and you can just figure out how many cases they've printed of this product, for like a few hundred cases. We're not going to see one of these, so you can if you're trying to master the set, then I would just recommend not to focus on those because they're incredibly hard. So moving on from those, what we now have is there's another tier. We have the first super rare tier over here. And this might actually be serialized. As you can see, the quality is really bad. Even if I zoom in over here, the quality is super bad. So you can barely tell what some of these are. Right? Obviously, this is under 17 and 18. This might looks like Frieza. I don't know. And there's like a Goku there in the back. So very bad quality flyer. But you do get a sense, at least you have an image of the cards. And you know, if you open that card, then you know which tier it belongs. But these are some of the extremely rare ones that I don't even know if you have one of these in every case. I don't think you do. I have not seen one of these yet. Moving on, we have the diamond subset, right? This is this diamond subset. You can identify easily by this image over here, which is a sort of like a diamond background, and this is the back of the card. Typically on a case, and a case has like 60 boxes. You might see any number of diamond ones between like 3 and 6. I don't think you would ever not see a diamond card. And I don't think I've ever seen less than 3. But it really depends on the case. Some cases have 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if it'd be more than 6. But these are supposed to be like better images, and they are very rare. I think I have one to show you a sample here later. And we can take a look at that. But in terms of packaging, they're all the same, right? So there's no way to tell from a sealed box. There's no way to tell them apart from the regular cards. But you have that special diamond on the back. They don't really have any foil or effects. It's just like cooler images and rare. But you can see some very cool, like the SS4 or like Teen Gohan over here, and SS4 Goku over there, SS4 Goku over here. Some of these are pretty cool. I have seen, so far, I believe I've only seen a couple of the diamond cards. The next one, we have these SRs and the purple bag. Now, this is a purple diamond as well. These are a bit more common than the full diamond bags. And I think in a case, you might expect to see around 10 of these. So 10 out of 60. So pretty solid, right? So that's not bad. Or maybe a maximum of 10. I also don't think this is fixed within the case. So you might see a few more, you might see a few less. But I think around 10 per case is normally a good number. There are some very cool images over here, which again, you can't really appreciate because of the bad image quality, but I do have a sample I'm going to show later, and you'll be able to see. And then we go into the regular tier. And the regular tier has 2 main sections. One is this that they call the GR. And then the GR has all these different cards that you can see. So you can see they're like very different in terms of design. So you have like the landscape, these 8 here on the top left. These are basically landscape ones. Then you have some of the like waifus over here, which is pretty uncommon for Dragon Ball, but you have some sets that have some more waifu-y style. Not as heavy-handed as the One Piece ones, but still some like sexy images. And then just general images. There's a Kid Goku over here, another Kid Goku over there, Majin Buu over here. Some of the manga backgrounds, there's like 3 over here that have like manga backgrounds. I do believe there's more of those. Those are very cool as well. Now this is the GR set. It is one of the 2 base sets. When you look at this in the back, they're going to have just like a blue background, same as the next tier, which is this one, which is also the base set. Right, it's another base set, and this is the biggest one. And here you can see really like a mix of images that have like no relation amongst themselves, right? So you have like some headshots over here of like Majin Vegeta or a Gogeta, some like perfect Cell and Trunks with Shenron in the back. This looks like it might be part of the base set. Some other ones with, a big Teen Gohan with a big panel over here, or like an SS4 Vegeta. So it's really like a bunch of different images from the series that have like no relation among themselves, other than they just belong to the same category. And that's it, right? So that's the full set. So it's not a super large set. So I can stop sharing that now. So it's not a super large set. And you get 60 of these boxes on every case. So, not super difficult to master, as long as you don't care about the different colors or the super rare serialized out of 20 or whatever it is, right? There's only 20 on the planet. All right, so we've done a quick intro on the set. So how about we see some cards now? So this is what the boxes look like. And I do have a few cards over here, which we're going to use as samples, right? So you can get a sense of what this looks like. All right, so starting with, there you go. So here we go. This is one of the regular sets. You can tell because of the bag, right? It has like a normal, normal for this particular series. It has like this blue Kamehameha blue bag, right? And here we have Frieza. Frieza, this is the image one right after, if you recognize it from the anime or the manga, this is right after he was hit with the Genki Dama as he's about to kill Krillin in the anime. And here, if you can see, we have a blue border surrounding this Frieza. Now, this is what I mentioned before, that you can have the same card in multiple colors. You might be opening this card, instead of blue, it might be purple. Instead of purple, it might be white, or like platinum or silver, or it might be gold. So you can have the same card in multiple colors. And they don't really specify anywhere how many colors are there on every card, right? If you want to try and complete every single color for every single card, you might, I don't know, you might end up getting a lot of cases. But this is what they look like, right? And again, these are fully metal cards. Each one of them comes on the One Touch matte case, but they are like thick, strong metal right here, right? And very, very cool images, as you can see. Now let's see if the reflection does not play havoc with me just having this here. It does play a bit of havoc. Let's put it down. All right, let's see a few of those. There you go. This is some of the landscape ones. So we saw some of those on the card list. Look at the border. The border is silver. So this border is different color. Now, I do not have from this set, from Wave 4, I don't have two of the same cards with different color bordered, but I have seen those before, right? So I know they are. I know they exist. And this one is gold, as you can see, right? There's a golden Frieza and the Goku. Very cool art. Some of this art I've actually never seen before. So some of this art, this image, for example, I had never seen before. I don't know if it was created just for this particular set, or if it's something that already existed and I've just repurposed. But here we go, another landscape with Bidus. This one has gold border versus this one before, which was silver. Right, but again, it doesn't mean anything. We could find the Bidus again. That's exactly the same card with a silver border instead, just as easily. All right, and this is this kind of feels like it should be part of the base set, but as we saw on the card list earlier, there were only like a couple of these with the Shenron in the background, and all of them have like this same bag, right? So all of them are kind of the same variety. Everything that we've seen here so far, all of these belong to the same variety. Let's put this one over here, and here we have, look, this is one of the purple diamonds. The first one of the purple diamonds. And we have a sick one. This is not mine. This was opened by someone on the stream. And I'm about to ship it to them. But I did want to make this video before I did, because it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous card that I did want to record for posterity. So this is a special one, because it's not the regular blue background. This one is the next tier, the one above that, which is the purple background. And it's the same material, it's the same case, everything. It's just a super cool card. This one also has the gold border. It's a fantastic rainbow SS3 Goku. Super, super cool card right here. I think this might be among my favorites of the entire set so far. And I have another purple background here. Another purple diamond in the back. This is from the same person in the stream. The same person opened this one. I didn't even know. Apparently, this is a Pokemon collab. Right? This is a Pokemon. I didn't know. Somebody mentioned when I was opening this in the Whatnot stream. It's like, oh, that's a... I don't even remember his name, but they mentioned that's a Pokemon character. But yeah, this is also a rare one, right? It's the second tier, the one above the base set. And we have another one of those purple diamonds. I have from this case, both of these came from the same case. From this case, I've probably opened maybe like 20, 30 boxes and like 3 or 4 diamonds already. There's another landscape one. Landscape one is a sample. And then look at this. Look at this. SS4 Daima Goku. Also gorgeous, but this is also, as you can see, it's a regular bag. Right? It's the same bag that we had before. These are some samples. Okay? They look fantastic. Whenever they do a Dragon Ball metal set, it's a cause for rejoice, right? Because they do some incredible quality. This is like insanely cool. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, this is definitely super cool to have. Now, and you can keep them on the mat cases. When I collect myself, I normally just remove them from the mat cases so that I can put them on like a regular 9-pocket binder. Because the mat cases makes it a lot harder to store and display. Well, not harder to store, it's just like you have to store them differently. I do like to put them on a regular binder, so I can just flip through pages. So I would just put like a regular plastic penny sleeve cover on it and stick it on a 9-pocket binder. So I can have all my collection there. That way, in a single binder, you can have the full set, as opposed to just having them on the mat cases, which is going to take an enormous amount of space. And I can show, I have a few others over here that I can show also from the same set. Don't have any duplicates. But look at this. We have a Beast Trunks. One of the Beast Trunks, this one I believe, is going to be also, we have a regular blue background on a Beast Trunks. And let me show some others. So I have a regular card over here. Regular cards over here from the base set again. From the base set, we have the Vegito. Now, if you do not care about the different color, this is not a super difficult set to master. Right? If you do not care about the different border colors and do not care about the super limited red card. And here we have one of the manga ones. The manga ones, the ones that have like the manga in the background, I have opened a couple of those. They are very, very cool. This is the freezer. These are also just regular background. Regular background. So base set, which makes it in theory just as rare as like this one, for example. Right? But these are so much cooler. So if you were to trade, and then, you know, it might be doable to trade like one of these for like 2 of those, something like that, if you're trying to complete the set. Now, this is one of my favorites from the base set. This is one I opened myself, but it's going to somebody else on the Whatnot streams as well. Majin Vegeta, which is my favorite character. This is the badass Majin Vegeta, like the portrait one. And it's also part of the base set, right? So here we have a Majin Vegeta, part of the base set, but it looks sick as fuck. Some of these cards are just insanely gorgeous. All right, and let's take a look. I have actually a couple more purple diamonds over here that I can show. Here we have a Frieza. One of the purple diamond ones. Frieza with his multiple transformations. Right, so another purple bag. This also came from the same case as all of those. And there were others that I have already shipped, I no longer have here. And let's see, and I did have a couple more. I have one more over here. Another purple diamond in the back with the Kid Goku. Kid Goku is also one of my favorite characters. Kid Goku also from the same case. The Kid Goku and the dinosaur. These ones, I recognize this image from the hardcovers for Dragon Ball that they released a long time ago with a lot of illustrations. This was the cover of that first volume. But this is a purple background, purple diamond background with the Kid Goku, one of the promotional images on those Dragon Ball collection of 7 Dragon Ball volumes that they released shortly after the series originally ended. All right, and I'm going to close with, I do have one of the diamond ones. These are the next tier, right? So first we have these blue ones, that is tier number 1. Then we have these, tier number 2, the purple ones. Then we have these, the diamond ones. And again, the case, the card, the material is the same. These are like different images. But here we have the Goku and Gohan fusion. There's actually a bit of like a hollow foil effect going on here on the corner. Otherwise, it kind of feels the same as the other ones, right? It's just like a different image and a different rarity. The logo is a bit different over here. It is more like foily, right, as opposed to this one from the purple back, just like gold. And the base tier, which generally doesn't have anything. The base tier just has like a shenron of different colors. Well, okay, this one in particular does have an actual Dragon Ball logo, but this one doesn't, right? Just the different shenron stamp. That's it. But here you have one of the diamond ones with this bit of like holo effect here on the corner with the Goku and Gohan fusion. So the back, as you can see, is different. They're not serialized, so you still don't get any serials. I suspect if you open one of the Dragon Balls, those would be serialized. I have not opened one of those, so I don't really know. But yeah, there you have it. So these are all Langu Wave 4. Different boxes from Langu Wave 4. Super cool characters, super cool card, and a super cool set. Alright, so let me just get this out of the way, because I have another couple of things to show before I close this video today. Since I haven't done one in a while, I'm just doing a couple of special things today. So special thing number one is I'm going to show you exactly what these cases look like when you get them. And I have a completely sealed case, which I'm going to rip open right here. And I have it. There you go. This is a full case as delivered to me from the factory, and I just want to open it here in person. Here's like it goes first to like a Chinese company, and then ships it forwards to me. But I do want to show when I open this, I want you all to see firsthand how messed up these boxes are when you receive them, in terms of the glue that's unstuck in the boxes. And honestly, I think Wave 4, this one is the worst one of all three that I've seen. It'd be pretty funny if this one just happens to be perfect, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So let's see. So I'm going to just open this full case over here. So there should be like 60 boxes. And see, there you go. Look at that. So this is extremely unfortunate. As you can see, right, they're just completely unglued. The vast majority of them are completely unglued as you open them from factory, which sucks because they're just like wide open. So what I do oftentimes, let's see, and there's like should be like 2 rows over here, and on the bottom. Some of them, you know, are more or less steel sealed, but just so many of them. As you open them, they're like completely like wide open, right? So there's nothing holding this thing together. There's nothing stopping this. So normally what I would do is just seal them with a bit of tape, but it is unfortunate that it is so solid in that sense. But like otherwise, you know, the cards are pretty solid and everything is cool. But as you can see, as you open the case, they just look like that straight from the factory. Highly unfortunate. But hey, it does not detract from the fact that this is a very, very cool set. All right, and I did say I have 2 extras before I close. I have one more unrelated to Langu, but I do want to show. Now, Langu is a thin metal set. Right? It's a thin metal set, which means all the cards are. These are matte cases. They're probably like 35, right? Yeah, this is 35 if you look at it. 35 is the standard for regular TCG. If you want to put a matte case on your regular TCG cards, then you put in like a 35 PT. That's what they use to measure the thickness of the card. The one-piece sets, the metal sets, they are very, very popular, but they're generally much thicker. So the one-piece metal sets are generally like 180 PTs, right? So this one is 35. So the one-piece ones would be like 180 PTs. Is the general base thickness for the one-piece cards. Sometimes these cards also do like a dedicated subsets, like Dragon Ball subsets, from the same factory. They don't do an entire series, just like a set of 9 cards or something like that. And that's one of those that I have today and that I want to show today. Now, these are very thick metals because this is from one of those One Piece factories that did a dedicated Dragon Ball subset of 9 cards. And I want to show those because I got this recently and I thought they were very, very cool. These are also serialized. There's only 3 copies of these. And this is the number 1 out of 3. So I have this full subset of 9 cards that it is out of 3. And all of them are the number 1. And I want to show a sampler here of what this looks like. So here we go. It's a super thick metal. And I have like a more of like a hyper-realistic trunks. I'm going to be removing them. They come with the mat case. It is 180 PTs, as I mentioned. I removed the cover so I could just easily take them out here and show them. But here I'm going to show this full subset of the 1 out of 3 cards from this particular company. And again, this is a One Piece company that every once in a while does the dedicated sets for Dragon Ball. But look at that. That is just fantastic. That's incredible. Look at that Goku. And all of these that I'm going to show you is the number 1 out of 3. And this is a full set of the 9 cards. So the next one, 1 out of 3. We have a badass looking Master Muten Roshi. Muten Roshi over here. Next one, 1 out of 3. We have a Perfect Cell. Let's go. That is 4. This full subset is 9 cards. And I have 4 over here. Next one, 1 out of 3. Look at that. Look at that, Gogeta. SS Gogeta. The 1 out of 3. I did get this set recently. I did love it. Right now, it's still on my PC. I might sell it. A couple of people did want to get individual cards, but as a collector, this one is painful to split. But when you have something that is, you have the full set and all of it is a 1 out of 3, I just don't really want to split it. So right now it's still in my personal collection. We'll see if I end up splitting it and just selling each one of these individually. But right now it's still on my PC. We had a Majin Buu over there and an Android 18. Android 18, the only Dragon Ball lady that was in this subset. And finally, I did mention these subsets are always 9 cards, which is great if you want to put them on a binder, right? Because it fits on a single page, which you still can, even though this is very thick. You can put them on a regular 9 pocket without penny sleeves, without mat cases, just as they are. You can slide them into a 9 pocket. It's going to be a very heavy binder, but you can definitely do it. I have some of my thick metals that way. And the final one, here we have a Piccolo. Let's put Piccolo over here. But yeah, I thought this would be like a nice way to close the Dragon Ball video today, since it's been a hot minute. Again, this is not a Langu subset. This is just a special subset from a factory that's called Quinling. And they produced this one, and I do have the full 1 out of 3. They've done like 3 or 4 different Dragon Ball sets, each 9 cards each. I think this one is the best of the ones I've seen. All right, well, there you have it, chat. That is a Dragon Ball video for today, which again, it's been, as of the moment of this recording, it might have been like a couple of months since I've uploaded anything on YouTube. I'm hoping to catch up a bit and start posting content soon, but again, you can always find me on the Discord and the Whatnot streams. I do stream on Whatnot several times a week. So please refer you back to the description of the video where you can see the Whatnot link and the referral if you're creating an account. So you can get $15 towards your first purchase. But that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed this Dragon Ball Metals. Thank you for watching the video. Remember to click the like button and subscribe, and see you next time.